بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us tawfiq to continue our studies of Bidayat al-Hikmah. We are studying today the remaining objections on mental existence, wujud al-dhihni. In the last session, I gave you an idea about the third objection, but we didn't have time to read and reflect on the text. So the third objection is that if we say there is such a thing as wujud al-dhihni, in other words, if we say the same quiddities come to our mind when we know something, حصول الأشياء بأنفسها في الذهن, the same realities, okay, that exist outside, their mahiyat comes to our mind. Then they say it requires our mind being subject for conflicting qualities. For example, you think of something which is cold, another thing which is hot. So your mind has to become cold and hot. For something which is wet, another thing is dry. Your mind has to become wet and dry. This means that mind becomes subject for opposing qualities. The answer is clear. To be cold or to be hot, to be wet or to be dry as a concept is something, and as a reality is different. Only the concepts, the mahiyat are the concepts, they come to the mind. So when for example, I know about sun, it's very hot. Okay, I can see sun, I can have knowledge of sun, I can remember sun, which is hot. But this doesn't make my mind hot. It is hot. It's not that I think of sun lacking hot. Otherwise, this would be not true. I know that sun is hot. The concept of hot is there. But it doesn't bring temperature to my mind. Okay? Why? Because to be really hot, it's a matter of haml shayeh sanai. Concept of hot is haml awali. So, al-ishkal al-thalis أن لازم القول بالوجود الذهني وحصول الأشياء بأنفسها في الأذهان. The requirement, the implication of saying that there is wujud al-zihni, to believe in wujud al-zihni, mental existence, and that things themselves come to mind. The requirement of this, what this implies is kawnun nafs harratan baridah. Our soul has to become harra, hot, barada, cold. Arida, tawila. It has to become wide or long. Mutahayyiza, mutaharrika. Mutahayyiza means to have space, to occupy a space. And mutaharrika, to have motion. So when you are thinking of a train which is moving, then your nafs has also to have something which is moving. Murabba'atan, muthallathatan, if you consider something which is a square or something which is triangle. Mu'minatan kafiratan, you think of a mu'min, you think of a kafir, you yourself also should have iman and kufr, you become mu'min and kafir at the same time. Wahakadha. When this becomes an implication, عند تصور الحرارة والبرودة إلى غير ذلك, when we conceive harara, buruda, etc. وهو باطل بالضرورة. This is certainly false. Why there is such an implication? Because the concepts of these things are there in the mind. Bayanul mulazama. Still, this is part of the objection. The one who objects wants to say why there is such a mulazama, why there is such an implication. He says, أنها لا نعني بالحار والبارد والعريض والطويل ونحو ذلك إلا ما حصلت له هذه المعاني. Because we don't mean by something which is hot or cold or wide or long, except something which has these mahiyat, these meanings. So now when our nafs has these meanings, has to become like that. Al-jawabu. But the answer is this. أن المعاني الخارجية كالحرارة والبرودة ونحوهما, these external concepts and meanings like hot or cold, etc., they only come to our mind with their mahiyya, not with their existence. So the reality doesn't come inside. The reality remains outside. أنما تحصل في الأذهان, they occur in our minds بماهياتها لا بوجوداتها العينية. They come to our mind with their qualities, not with their objective real existence. وتصدق عليها بالحمل الأولي دون الشائع. We can say these meanings which come to our mind are حرارة or برودة بالحمل الأولي. And you know, حمل الأولي doesn't bring any effects of the predicate. دون الشائع. وَالَّذِي يُوجِبُ الْإِتِّصَافِ. But, on the other hand, what really requires characterization is haml al-shayeh. What really makes something hot or cold is haml al-shayeh. وَالَّذِي يُوجِبُ الْإِتِّصَافِ حصول هذه المعاني بوجوداتها الخارجية وقيامها بموضوعاتها دون حصول ماهياتها لها وقيام ما هي بالحمل الأولي. What really requires characterization is that these meanings with their external existence come and belong to nafs. Not only the mahiyya of them comes to nafs بالحمل الأولي. The fourth objection, they say, how do you believe in wujud al-zahni, mental existence, while we may conceive of things which are impossible, like sharikul bari, imtina'un naqidain. Okay, so there are things which are impossible and we have knowledge of them. If you say they come with the same mahiyya to nafs, it means that our nafs has experienced something which is muhal. If something is muhal, cannot come to nafs. Yes.
Just one question. Just on this third objection, sometimes in dreams, for example, which is, again, it's mentally you're going through that experience, it becomes so real that, the effects of, an experience that you had in your dream is reflected on your body, for example.
That's association of ideas.
What does that
So we explained last session that, for example, you think of something sour and then you start experiencing the same thing that if you really eat something sour happens. This is reflex. It's not real. Or, for example, you think of food, your stomach starts producing some enzymes or whatever. So this is association of ideas. Tada'i ma'ani. Al-ishqal al-rabi. The fourth objection. أننا نتصور المحالات الذاتية. We conceive, we understand things which are essentially impossible. You remember in the previous course on philosophy, we said those things which are impossible sometimes are essentially impossible. Sometimes they are essentially possible, but existentially they are impossible. For example, to have a human being is not impossible. But to have a human being without parents is existentially possible, not essentially. Because the same child is a human being. Human being is possible. Do you understand? So, we conceive things which are essentially impossible. The worst type of muhal is when that in its very essence, it is impossible. كشريك البارئ, a partner for the Creator, partner for God. It's impossible. اجتماع النقيضين, to have two contradictory things together. To be A and to be non-A at the same time. Or ارتفاعهما, not to have A and not to have non-A. It's impossible. Or سلب الشيء عن نفسه, something not to be itself. This is muhal. So, the objection is that we can conceive these impossible things فَلَوْ كَانَتِ الْأَشْيَاء حَاصِلَةً بِأَنفُسِهَا فِي الْأَذْهَانِ استلزم ذلك ثبوت المحالات الذاتية. If the same things have to exist in mind based on wujud zihni, so it means that these muhalat should exist in our mind. So they are not muhal. If they exist, they are not muhal. So on the one hand, you say they are muhal. On the other hand, your opinion about wujud zihni means that they must exist. The answer is, again, the concept of muhal is not muhal. The concept of sharikul bari is something that we can think about it. Real sharikul bari cannot exist. The concept of sharikul bari can exist because the concept of sharikul bari is not sharikul bari. The concept of sharikul bari is something that we create in our mind. It's sharikul bari bil hamlil awwali, not sharikul bari بالحمل الشايع. Okay? If someone has lost, for example, his father, but he has image of his father in mind, you cannot say, you have not lost your father, because your father is in your mind. You say, this is father بالحمل الأولي. I am mourning for my father بالحمل الشايع. Yeah? So, الجواب عن أن الحاصل من المحالات الذاتية في الأذهان, what occurs from these essentially impossible things in our minds is مفاهيمها, their concepts بالحمل الأولي, according to حمل الأولي, not دون الحمل الشايع, not reality of them. فشريك الباري, بارئ or bari is if you do takhfif. Bara'a means khalaqa. Bari means khaliq. But for takhfif, sometimes we make hamza ya, we say bari. فَشَرِيكُ الْبَارِئِ في الذهن شَرِيكُ الْبَارِئِ بِالْحَمْلِ الْأَوَّلِ. Partner to God in our mind is partner to God in hamla awwali, in primary predication. Amma bil hamla shaya, but if you look at it itself, it's not sharik bari. If you look at it itself, it is a mental image which has occurred to my nafs. Yeah? It's not sharikul bari if you look at it as hamla shaya. أما بالحمل الشائع فهو كيفية نفسانية ممكنة مخلوقة للبارئ. If you look at it itself, it is a quality for nafs which is contingent, which is created actually by God, because it is created by me, which is a creation of God. So ultimately, everything is created by God. Everything else is like this. They come to our mind, but as mafhum only. بالحمل الأولي. الإشكال الخامس. They say, we imagine, for example, the earth. All continents, seas, oceans, forests, mountains, and if they come to our mind, it means that our mind has to be as big as earth, or even we have an understanding of stars and planets, so even to be as big as earth is not enough. To be as big as galaxies. Yeah? Because if you say the same thing comes to your mind, so mountains should come to your mind, oceans should come to your mind, forests should come to your mind, sun and moon should come to your mind. So it means our mind has to be very huge. This is the objection. الإشكال الخامس أننا نتصور الأرض بما رحبت. We conceive the earth with its wide size, very rahubat is spread out, yeah? You know, marhaba comes from the same thing. Say marhaba means welcome. Rahubat means it's wide. بسهولها plains. وجبالها mountains. وبراريها deserts. Yeah? بحارها seas. وما فوقها من السماء, and what is above earth from sky. بأرجائها البعيدة, very remote dimensions. والنجوم, stars, كواكب, yeah, all the planets, stars. بأبعادها الشاسعة, it with great and huge dimensions. وحصول هذه المقادير العظيمة في these large quantities, if they want to come to our mind, بمعنى انطباعها في جزء عصبي أو قوة دماغية, we would have an impression of them in our brain or nervous system. It would be an instance of انطباع الكبير في الصغير, means something small would contain something huge. وهو محال. You cannot bring the whole world into this room. Can you bring the whole world to this room? So what then is your opinion about bringing everything to your mind? Your mind is smaller than this room. This is the objection, of course. I'm not saying this. This is the person who is objecting. If you say the person who objects wants to anticipate a question. So he wants to answer something that you may say. If you say, okay, this is a big problem, something huge coming into something small, but we have a solution. Again, this is not we as Allama Tabatabai is saying. This is the objection that the person who objects is anticipating and he wants to refute. So he says, if you say that our mind, even if it is a small, but it can be divided endlessly. Because kam muttasil can be divided endlessly. For example, if you have a piece of paper, 20 centimeters, how many times you can divide it? To how many parts you can divide it? Endless. It's infinite. Munqasimun bima la nihayata lahu. You can make it half, then make half quarter, then continue. It never stops. Even if it becomes so small that you don't have any equipment to cut it, mentally you can still cut it. Yes.
However, you have told me that the soul is huge.
Yes.
And it becomes compressed when it enters our body. So our soul can encompass everything.
Yes.
Isn't it? So it isn't really small in that way.
No, that's the answer. This person, unfortunately, has make a mistake. Thought that maybe these things comes and as objects to our mind. Inshallah, we will answer. So he says, if you say, as an attempt to refute our objection, that because these things go to the mind and mind can be endlessly divided, it's okay. He says this is not going to solve the problem. He says, دفع الإشكال بأن المنتبع فيه, to refute this objection by saying what is going to contain al-intiba' means impression. What is going to have this impression? Our mind. To say because mind which is going to contain this is munqasimun ila ghayr al-nihaya, can be divided endlessly. La yujidi shay'a. This is not going to solve the problem. Because if this was solving the problem and say, you can divide it endlessly and then every part can take a little, so because it's endless, so it can. He says, this is not working. If this is the case, then you can always say this. For example, my hand, my palm. Can my palm contain a mountain? No. Even if you say my palm can be divided endlessly, it doesn't solve the problem. Even if I can divide this infinite times, still it is limited. Still it's not enough to contain a mountain. So this is not going to solve the problem. So the objection basically is, we understand things which are much bigger than us. If wujud al-zihni is accepted, it means that they should come to our mind by themselves. Our mind doesn't have the capacity to welcome them and accommodate them. What's the answer?
How the things can come into the mind? Because this is materialistic and brain or ruh is mujarrad. So it can come.
We say it is true that we understand mountains in their size, oceans in their size, but our mind is not our brain or nervous system. Some physical, chemical things happen in our brain, but that is not knowledge. That is prerequisite. That is mu'id, something that prepares our nafs The one that really understands is nafs. And nafs has no size. Nafs is mujarrad. Actually, this is one of the arguments that we use to prove that human nafs is immaterial. Okay? Al-jawabu, an answer, reply to this objection, the fifth objection, is أن الحق كما سيأتي, the truth as it will come later is أن الصور الإدراكية. Inshallah, when we discuss اتحاد العقل والعاقل والمعقول, we will say that these are all مجرد. أن الصور الإدراكية الجزئية. صور إدراكي, even those which are جزئي. كلي is very clear. Even جزئي is غير مادية, is not material. بل مجردة, they are immaterial. And when it comes to جزئيات of what we understand from this physical world, they have تجرد مثالي. What is تجرد مثالي? Means they have shape, they have quantity, but no madda. There is miqdar. There is shape, but no, like what you have in dream. When in your dream you see someone, it has the same shape and size, but it's not something that has mass, a physical mass. It doesn't have madda.
Can we say it has, among the ibad al-thalatha, it has two shape and size, and then it doesn't need the place. So when we see in the dream, as you say, the shape and size is there,
But no madda.
no mother there.
Yeah.
So for mother we need ibad al-thalatha.
Madda means then it has to be three-dimensional, it has to be having some weight, occupy some space. Therefore, you see in your dream a person with all characteristics that you know of this person can cross the wall. Because this person has no madda and the wall has no madda, so this person can go through the wall. Because it is not the shape and the size and the color which causes heat. It's madda. Two maddi things would conflict. But two things which are mithali don't conflict.
It solves another problem.
Yes.
You said also the two-dimensional, not three-dimensional. These dreams that you have.
No, it can be three-dimensional, but has no madda. Yes. Yes. So, أن الصور الإدراكية الجزئية, the mental images that we have which are particular, غير مادية. They are not maddi, they are not material. بل مجردة تجردا مثاليا. They are mujarrad. What type of tajarrud? Absolute, complete, perfect tajarrud? No. Mithali. Mithal means fiha atharul madda. It has the effects of madda, matter, like miqdar, quantity, shakl, shape and size. All these things are there. Duna nafs al madda, but not the madda itself. It doesn't have the matter itself, the mass. فَهِيَ حَاصِلَةٌ لِلنَّفْسِ. These suwar occur for soul في مرتبة تجردها المثالي. They occur for nafs. In which level of nafs? Because nafs is like a building which has multi floors. One floor of nafs is mithali. Yeah, because our nafs has different levels. our nafs can be function at the level of uqul and understanding which are completely mujarrad, or mithal, or even deal with the maddiyat. So nafs in the level of tajarrud mithali has these images, but من غير أن تنتبع في جزء بدني, but without these images come into part of our body. Suwar idraki don't go to our brain or nervous system. These are understood by nafs, not by body. Okay? أو قوة متعلقة بجزء بدني, or in a faculty which belongs to part of our body, an organ. If you take someone's brain to laboratory, can you find his knowledge there, his understanding there? No. You can find some chemical marks on his brain, but not his knowledge.
Can I ask a question, please? There has been seen in the brain some centers for memory and some centers for other things, some centers for controlling the heart and things. But so there is a center for memory, a center for seeing, center for hearing. So how do you relate it to the nafs of the body?
So this is what actually we are saying now. أما الأفعال والانفعالات الحاصلة في مرحلة المادة, but those actions and interactions and انفعال means to be affected. So those actions and effects that happen in madda, in the level of our body, when we feel something or perceive something or imagine something, these are not really our knowledge. These are mu'iddatun. These are preparatory things. These are prerequisites for understanding. تَتَهَيَّأُ بِهَا النَّفْسِ. Our soul will be prepared by these interactions and actions in our brain. لحصول الصور العلمية الجزئية المثالية عندها. Their role is to prepare our soul for having these mental images. So knowledge is for your soul, but your brain is functioning. Okay? Like for example, we may have, say, a library. One section is books on philosophy, one section is books on history, one section is books on theology. But these are only preparing the scholar who goes there to know philosophy and theology and history. The books are not knowledge. The books help the person to get knowledge. If you say these books have knowledge of history, no, these books have no knowledge. Pardon?
So the organs, you just have to separate.
So your organs have no knowledge. Your brain is not a scholar.
Yes.
You are a scholar, not your brain.
Who is me?
Pardon?
Who is me? The soul.
Your nafs.
So,
Your nafs. So this is why when you are resurrected on the day of judgment, you are resurrected based on qualities of your nafs, not qualities of your body. We can replace body. It's not a big deal. The soul is determining who you are. Your identity comes from your soul. Unfortunately, in dunya, the main thing is body. Because people only look at each other's bodies first. Then if they are patient and spend time, they little by little go to the soul. Yeah? But on the day of judgment, because realities are important, it starts from soul. Yeah? And then if you have a good soul, you would have a good body. So soul affects your body. Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yes.
Just on this fifth point that you explained, can it not also be resolved by a similar way that we did the previous one? To say that all of this, what we think about the desert, the mountains, etc., they're only just the image, and they're just the concepts, and not the real existence. So it's not going to occupy that much space, and
it's not a matter of how much. We want to say it doesn't occupy at all. Yeah, because totally different. What has the knowledge is the soul, not the brain. This actually is also related to the sixth objection, al-ishkal al-salis. The sixth objection is anna ulama at-tabi'ah, scientists who know nature, bayyanu, they have said, anna al-ihsas wa-takhayyul, his and takhayyul, perception and takhayyul, imagination, or remembering what you sensed before, because khayal can also mean the image which is in your mind after perception. These are بحصول صور الأجسام المادية بما لها من النسب والخصوصيات الخارجية في الأعضاء الحاسة. Perception and imagination happens when the images of material physical objects with the same relations and characteristics that they have, they come to those parts of our body which are responsible for sensation, like eyes, ears, tongue. And from there goes to the brain. انتقالها للدماغ. Then goes to the brain. مع ما لها من التصرف فيها. But then each of our parts has some impact. So they process. So, how we come to know something? By comparison. So, something which is 1 kilometer, another thing is 2 kilometers. So, the one which is 2 kilometers is twice the one which is 1 kilometer. So, neither 2 kilometer comes to my mind, nor 1 kilometer comes to my mind. Something small comes to my mind, which is twice the other small thing. So, it's just nisab comes, but not real size.
Like the image comes, is it?
Yeah, so the images come like microfilms. If you have a microfilm, then everything keeps its relative size. Yeah? So for example, if your neck is 8% of your body, in the microfilm also remains 8%. If your hand is this much compared to the rest of body, the same relative size remains. Then we need just to interpret. ينتقل إلى خصوصية مقاديرها وأبعادها وأشكالها. Our mind would then be able to move and understand بنوع من المقايسة, with a kind of comparison. من أجزاء الصورة الحاصلة عنده على ما فسر, in the way that they have detailed discussion, about it. So there is no problem that to say the things come to our mind by themselves. But the answer is again clear. What we need in the end is to understand things with their real size. Even if you use microfilms, then you have to magnify it. do you understand Mount Everest in its big size, or just you understand it as a microfilm? You understand it, it's big size, great size, huge size. So this shows this is not a matter of body, it's a matter of the soul. Because body is small. Body cannot accommodate such a big thing. أنما ذكروه من الفعل والانفعال المادي عند حصول العلم بالجزئيات في محله. Whatever they have said, whatever scientists have said that happen when we understand something which is maddi, okay, that's correct. If they say this happens in your eye, then a signal is sent, through the nerves to the brain. This part of brain is responsible for what is seen. Everything is okay. We don't have any problem with that. لكن هذه الصور المنطبعة, these mental images which are like imprinted on your mind, which are different from external objects, these are not known by us. These are not really the images that we have. بل هي معدات, these are preparatory things that prepare the soul for presence of mahiyat. Those mahiyat come بوجود مثالي غير مادي, without the matter, shape, size, they come. Otherwise, if it was not in the way that we said, وَإِلَّا لَزِمَتِ السَّفْسَةَ, it means that we have to say there is no way to know anything. Why? Because there would be no way to have correspondence. لَزِمَتِ السَّفْسَةَ لِمَكَانِ الْمُغَايَرَةِ. Makan is mastar mimi, means لِكَوْنَ الْمُغَايَرَةِ. Because there is difference between those images which occur for eye and ear and skin and the real things that create these images in us. بل هذا من أقوى الحجج على حصول الماهيات بأنفسها عند الإنسان. Indeed, what you say is the best, one of the best arguments for us to say that things with their mahiyya come to our mind. بوجود غير مادي. But when they come not with a material existence. Because material things cannot be representing other things. This is very important. Any material thing, a paper, a piece of glass, a piece of mirror, cannot 100% represent another thing. This is our nafs which has this ability to have images that are 100% transparent. You forget them. They just reflect. No mirror can do what our mental images can do. Okay? Amazing.
It's better than the mirror.
Pardon?
It's better than the mirror.
Yes, it's better than mirror. Because when you see mirror, still this mirror is very limited. But our mind is so capable that even sometimes you don't see that the mind is working. Right now I am seeing you. I think I am actually directly understanding you. But there is no way for me to directly understand you. No. Because it's always through my mind. I cannot see you directly. An image of you comes to my mind, and because that image very much is like you, I think I am talking to you or seeing you directly. Okay? So, بل هذا من أقوى الحجج. This is one of the strongest arguments for saying that mahiyat بأنفسها, qualities themselves, occur for soul in human beings. With what type of existence? بوجود غير مادي. They don't come with material existence to our mind. So mountain with material existence doesn't come to my mind. فإن الوجود المادي لها, the physical material existence for objects, no matter how you imagine and suppose them, they would be different. لم يخلو عن مغايرة ما بين الصور الحاصلة وبين الأمور الخارجية. They would be different from the image. And this means then we can never know anything. This means subsate. If the thing was coming to my mind, then that was a problem. The seventh objection. This is very easy. The person who objects says, if we believe in wujud al-zihni and in mental existence, it means that the same thing has to be kulli and juz'i. When you imagine a concept which is kulli, so it is kulli. But at the same time, this is a kayf for nafs, so it is juz'i. The answer is again the difference between hamla awwali and hamla shaya. الإشكال السابع أن لازم القول بالوجود الذهني. An implication of believing in mental existence is that the same thing has to be kulli and juz'i. وَبُطْلَانُهُ ظَاهِرٌ. And this is impossible and its falsehood is clear. It's clear that something cannot be both kulli and juz'i. Because kulli means لا يمتنع صدقه على كثير. Juz'i is يمتنع صدقه على كثير. Okay? Bayanul mulazama. Why?
What do you mean by these terms? Kulliyatum is universal.
Kulli is universal. It can be applied to more than one thing. Juz'i is a concept that can only be applied to one thing, not more. So if something is both kulli and juz'i, is a problem. How this leads to being kulli and juz'i, we want to explain now. Bayanul mulazama. Why there is such an implication? So you know that it's impossible to be kulli and juz'i, but let's explain how it leads to something being kulli and juz'i. أن ماهية الإنسان, the quality of insan, al-ma'gula. Al-ma'gula is adjective for mahiyya. Means the mahiyya which is understood, which is comprehended. من حيث تجويز العقل صدقها على كثيرين كلية. Insofar as reason says that insan can be Zayd, Amr, Bakr, this is kulli. So you have mahi of insan in your mind, and that can be applied to many people. This is kulli. But ومن حيث حصولها لنفس عاقلة شخصية. But because it is an image which is for one particular person, one particular soul. Yeah? It's one image. So it is juz'i. وقيامها بها جزئية متشخصة بتشخصها متميزة من ماهية الإنسان المعقولة لتلك غير تلك النفس. This depends on my nafs, and this is different from the image of human being that you have. The image that I have is a personal, particular image. You may have another image of human being. So this image is juz'i. It's for me, not for you. So how can something be juz'i and kulli? It is juz'i because dependent on me as a one reality, one being. But at the same time, it can be applied to millions of people. The answer is that it is juz'i if you look at it itself. It is kulli if you use it to reach out. Okay? So, if you look at it itself, it's kayf nafsani and it is juz'i. If you look at it as it shows other things, this is kulli. Al-jawab أن الجهة مختلفة. حيثية جهد, the aspects are different. فهي من حيث إنها وجود ذهني مقيس إلى الخارج. From that point of view, that it is a mental existence which is compared to outside, it is kulli, it is universal. تقبل الصدق على كثير, accepts to be applied to more than one. But من حيث إنها كيفية نفسانية. But if you look at it as it is a quality for my nafs, without comparing it to human beings outside, then it is juz'i. Okay? So, alhamdulillah, in this way, the section on wujud al-zahni is finished. So, maybe we can have a little break and inshallah continue. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Well, this is the most complicated chapter.